Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hello there, everybody. This is the Mac Daddy Model Hobby channel. This is my bi-weekly video for now. This is What Did I Buy Wednesday? Hosted by BigSkyModelWorkshop. Joe, appreciate it. Try to keep up my end of the bargain here. Not that I bought a lot this week. I did buy like one thing. I purchased a paint shaker, just a real cheap model I found on Amazon. I think it was like $20. I don't know. It's not really that cheap. I mean, it's a good, seems to be well made, so works pretty good. I think I also bought some little of those steel balls to put in the paint, so when you shake it, it really, from what I've read up on and heard about it, it helps mix the paint better. So I've done that. So hopefully that'll improve my mixing instead of by shaking it or by hand or stirring it. I'm definitely shaking it up first with that, and it seems to do a pretty good job. So those are the two things I picked up probably this week. Mostly this week, I'm going to hit on a couple subjects. Paul from Left Coast Model Builds had a video on, talked about the channel and talked about the community and talked about what he likes to do and suggested a few things and talked about a few things, as in how do you respond? Do you respond to comments on your page, on your channel? Do you comment on other channels when you watch them? Give them a like and all that kind of thing. I try to do that as much as I can. I try to keep up with the videos. It's hard when you have a lot that you follow, but I try to find the time to do that. A lot of times when I'm watching TV, I'll be have a earphone or whatever in my ear, and I'll be listening to the channels and listening to a show at the same time. So that helps me catch up. There's a few that really catch my eye that I like to watch and check out, and a few of them have been really good to me since I've joined the community, so I try to support them. But Paul made a lot of good comments, and it makes sense. It's just courteous to if somebody comments, takes the time to watch your video, number one, and then takes a little bit more time to comment on it, you kind of should acknowledge that, and I try very hard to do that. I try to be personal a little bit if I can, whatever. But I do try to do that. And so Model Car Building Corner Joe, he spoke on it too, and he seems to do the same thing. And it's, sometimes, and we all understand that it's hard for some people. I'm retired, it's a little easier for me, but it doesn't mean I spend the whole day on the computer. I've got other things that I do, and sometimes I think I'm busier now than I was when I was working. But that's just that. But I do try to watch as many as I can. I learn a lot from these videos. I've been in this community, I don't know, I think 3 or 4 months or so now, and maybe a little longer. But it's been great. The community is awesome. They support you so much, and there's a few guys that stand out, which is normal, but there's most guys comment, say, just throw it in there. Hey, Steve, you're doing really good. I like your progress on your bulldozer, or, I like your storage compartments. I like what you do. I like your channel. Keep it up. So that gives me encouragement. So I continue to do it. And the community is just there. I mean, they have been so good to me, right from the get-go, and that's something you don't get. Like I said, there's not a lot of, there's no, like I know of right now, there's no local hobby groups or build groups that get together or even have coffee sometimes. I wish there was, because I would definitely love to do that. Sit down, chat, find out more about the person. So I try to do that on my channel. I try to. I want to do more. Um, I want to do more with my channel, like just something a little different sometimes. Like now I'm just, I did say what I bought Wednesday. Yeah, that's cool. It's a great thing. But I like to take the time to just chat about whatever comes to mind. Uh, I don't get into politics. I don't get into, I say who I like in NASCAR or sports a little bit, but I'm not crazy about, you know, bragging about it or putting somebody down because they like this one or that one. So I do like to talk about um, my career. I mean, I drove truck for 50 years. There's a lot of things I did, and a lot of places I've been. So once in a while, I'll throw that in. Um, I like to just chat like I was talking to a friend, even though he's not here. But like now, I'm talking about this, and I'm sure there'll be some comments on my on my comments. There will be on on my channel on the video. There will be some comments, and you know what? That's great. I love them, good or bad. You got it to say. Go ahead and say it. We're all grown ups here, so um, it's just great to have that. I like to. I'm not afraid of criticism. If you see I'm doing something I shouldn't, that not really a good idea, or there's a way to do it better, have at it, man. I love it. Um, so that's what I want to do. I want to do maybe be a separate video. Maybe it'll be part of the two that I do right now. But I'd like to just throw out some ideas and throw. I like when people throw out a question to the community, because you get a lot of response and you get a lot of different views of how you look at things. I know that Matt, from Matt's models and more modeling and more, he he's actually cost me money, but good money. I'm just kidding. I bought this a couple weeks ago because Matt had it on his channel, and it's awesome. It's a nice little vise for your bench, perfect size to set something in while you're working on it. Uh, so I picked it up because it's a great idea. So I appreciate that. And I joke when I say he cost me money. I don't have to spend that money, you know. But so that pretty much sums it up. It's just it's nice to have you know uh, a community that supports you, gives you ideas, watches your channel, comments on your channel. It all feels good. You know what I mean? And like I said, we're all adults, um, and we should be respectful. And I haven't once seen anyone disrespectful on this channel, on this community. So that's awesome. And I'll never do that. You know, I will never say a bad thing about somebody. Just joking around, that's not hurtful. If it is, I apologize, Matt, for telling everybody you make me spend money. But so, that's, I love the channels. I like Matt's channel. He's got some really good stuff on there. Talks about some stuff you wouldn't think of. I mean, I think his video today was about uh, his Revell model that the body was messed up, and he didn't notice it until somebody pointed it out, and it was a pretty big uh, foobah, whatever you want to call it. So he wrote to Revell, and they sent him another body, which is really cool. So I had mentioned that I'm working on my cat bulldozer, and the tracks are very tricky to snap together, and there's a very tiny. This is the piece. It's a very, very tiny piece that makes the track. And you can see on this side, there's a broken little thing off there, and it's tiny. Well, now it doesn't snap in, so if I thought about trying to use a piece of music wire and gluing it, but I don't think it would hold up. So just for giggles, I emailed AMT and said, they got a page to fill out, like what part is it, what happened to it, blah blah blah. So I filled it out online and sent an email. That was 4 hours ago, and I've already got a response back saying, I got to pay the postage, which is fine. The postage and the parts are costing me. They're sending me a couple of new sections, and he said he'll send me a couple of them, and it cost me $7.95 for me to pay the postage. Which, hey, that's cool. I didn't expect it for free, but it's easier than trying to figure out something. So that's cool. So he gave me that idea, and that was great. You got nothing to lose. Um, these companies, they need us. Bottom line is they need us. If we don't buy models, they go out of business. So, and now that I've said this will go out through the community, so they'll know that AMT, and they were very quick on response. It was very fast. Within, I think, 2-3 hours, they responded back to me. So I thought that was pretty good, and I thanked them for being so prompt on getting back to me. A lot of companies could just say, yeah, okay, but um, so that's another part of it. I mean, the companies that we deal with um, treat us pretty good. So, and I've given them some AMT. I'm giving them some word of mouth. Hey, got any problem with AMT? No, I don't. Nope, they taken care of me. You know, um, I got into this bulldozer, and because I want it for a diorama, and I still do, and it's gonna work. Um, did it come out perfect? No. Did I learn from it? You bet I did. I can't tell you how many times I've actually taken it apart and redone things because they just weren't quite right. And I fought with it. I mean, there's a lot of tedious things to do. There's a lot of parts in this case. I guess there's 300 and something. So I'm a beginner basically. So I think I probably went over my head. But anyway, I got it done. Is it perfect? No. Will it work for the diorama, being rusted and dirty and all that? Yeah, I think so. So now I've started. I'm not done with the bulldozer. I still got to do the tracks. I got to paint them. Basically, I have it all together except for the tracks, uh, and then the weathering. So that's coming along. And I've started on the dump truck. I've got the cab paint primed. I got the hood primed. I've got the engine together, and it's all primed. I just got to do the final touches on the, different parts of the motor. Um, it's not going to be anything fancy. It's a truck. I mean, I could do something, but I'm going to try to. I'll paint the belts if I can and make them look realistic. I'll do a couple things like that, but I'm not going to go crazy. But it's really nice that I went from the bulldozer, I was struggling, and then I started the truck, and that just I've learned just by watching people and doing it myself how to handle the glue differently, what type of glue to use at what point. So, and a little goes a long way. I tried that, and I just have to be patient and let it set, and then it sets up really nice. So I've learned, and I'm getting better. Um, am I show quality? No, maybe. I don't know if I ever will be, but if I'm happy with it and I'm proud of what I did, then I'm happy. So that's what I do. I'm not here to build models to show you guys to brag because that's never going to happen. But to say that I'm proud of myself, yeah, that'll happen. I am. I'm very proud. I don't get frustrated. I'm not giving up. I'm just moving on. Okay, I messed up on this one, so the next model I'll remember that and I'll do it better. I've taken it apart quite a few times to make it better. Something wasn't quite lined up. I had to take it all apart to line it up. Sometimes the instructions are vague. It's hard to figure exactly, but you just got to use your head. So hopefully I'll get better at it. I seem to be a little bit each time. I mean, I haven't built many models, uh, but I would say this is probably my fifth or sixth model. No, two, three, four, five. Yeah, 7 or 8 models. Um, but the bulldozer, I've almost built it twice. I've had to do things over many times. So, but anyway, enough of that. I'm enjoying the hobby. I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm happy that I'm calm and cool when I do it. I mean, I come up here the other night at 10:30 at night. I didn't get done till like 3 in the morning, but it felt like an hour. I was just so involved. No music, no nothing. I just concentrating on my model, and I loved it. It was great. So that's what's important to me. I'm going to keep commenting and keep responding to everybody, and thank you for responding to me. Thank you for following my channel, taking the time to stop and watch my video. Even if you don't comment, that's okay. I mean, if you know, it's each his own. You know what I mean? But thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it all. So, you know what? I've carried on quite a bit here, too much. So until next time, see ya.